Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my channel. Never give up in what you believe in. That I want you to take away from what we're talking about today. It is something which is very, very close to my heart, and it is something which I will never, ever stop saying to people. Never give up on what you believe in. And that stands right from when you're a young child to somebody who's above 100 and beyond. Never ever give up on what you believe in, whether that's your own personal self, whether that's your faith, whether that's of family, whether that's of career, whatever you want to do, whoever you want to be, wherever you want yourself to be in life, never ever give up on it. And what you believe in, your personal ethics, your very person of what you kind of build your journey on in life, never ever give up on what you believe in. Now, sometimes we can go through life and society has a way of telling us we should be this way, we should act that way in order to succeed. When we're at school, we're of course encouraged to be able to work hard, to be able to have a great adventure and have a great journey in life. Sometimes people are blessed with better opportunities than others, but we all start at that same line in life, where when life says go, we all start. And it can be quite scary, and it can often be quite overwhelming. And some people's views can sometimes be pushed upon us, whether that be from education as a young person, to when we're throughout life and there's family commitments, there's financial commitments, which can often steer our way in life and often take us away from what we believe in. But my friend, I urge you, never ever ever give up on what you believe in, because in the difficult times, in the dark times, the challenges in your life, that and sticking to what you believe in will give you great comfort, and it will really give you great guidance. Now, for somebody like me, the last couple of years have been really, really difficult. In May of 21, I lost my nan, and she was my absolute world, and I've been blessed with incredible parents, and my mum's mum is my dear nan who I lost. Now, I grew up in the love of my mum and my nan and my dad, and I've got an amazing family, but I've always say I've been blessed with three parents. My nan was absolutely everything to me, so when she started showing signs of Alzheimer's, I really made it my life that I was going to stand right beside her, holding her hand the whole way through. As my nan progressed through the illness and this cloud started to take over my nan never ever stopped being my nan, right until the very last breath she took on this earth, to when I feel her guiding and she's with the Lord up above, and I feel her teaching me and I feel her presence always. Some days I get really, really dark times, and sometimes I can just cry and I can just break down and I can't take it. Other times I feel the lessons she taught me throughout the life and the love and the warmth which she left me with. I look at my mum and I smile to think that I've got this incredible person in my life and my incredible father, and I'm truly, truly blessed with the family I have and I live in. But it doesn't stop me sometimes missing Nan being here. Now, the one thing which gets me through difficult times, and I'm not just saying through the loss of my Nan, it never ever goes away, but my faith always gives me strong guidance. I've had a lot of operations and I've had a lot of problems with health which have knocked me back, and they've steered my life in a different direction. For example, straight away from school I was starting to have hearing problems, balance problems, and I was having to take a lot of time out of school through ill health. So right away from when I left school, the normal college setting wasn't suitable for me and I just couldn't do it. I really, really couldn't do it. And then throw in anxiety, throw in other issues, it really felt like that I was spiraling out of control in life. But you know what? Through determination and believing in what I believe in, okay, where I wanted my life to be, I knew I wanted to be successful. Everybody does, of course. But those hopes, those aspirations, those dreams, we should never ever give up on them. Because, okay, maybe the traditional route we're all told in life we have to follow, it's great, but it's not for everybody, and sometimes it's not available to everybody either. But there are ways, my friend, to achieve and get to where you want to be in life. So whatever you believe in, never ever give up on it. So whatever you're facing, but you believe and you hope and you dream that you want to be this person or in this career or a family or in this position financially, or to be able to get through something, or whether it be health, you can, my friend. Never ever ever give up on what you believe in. For me, faith is a huge strength and it's a huge guidance, and the Lord gets me through so many things. You may think that through talking about this that I would push this on other people. No, never. It is up to somebody to find God in their journey. And I truly do ultimately stand by that. The thing I don't appreciate in life is when, this is so easy, okay, but I always never ever give an opinion, I never ever assume, and I never ever give a view. It's okay to have a view, but keep it to yourself, because it's not always needed, and most of the time it just makes things worse. It's like when someone can be going through something and they can say, how can God allow this to happen? Or how can this be happening if there is a Lord? Do you know what? I never ever get into that subject. I never ever get into that topic. But when someone gives that view and they're hurting and they're in all of that pain, okay, it's really, really tough to then stand up and say, do you know what? This is what I believe in, okay, and I'm never ever going to give up on it. And I'm never ever going to give up on it or my faith, okay? But when someone else is going through that, it's really, really sad, and it makes me feel sad, and it hurts to think that somebody's going through that, okay? But sometimes when we are tested, okay, through the most difficult situations, whether it be health, whether it be loss, whether it be bereavement, I always say that there is light in the darkest of times. And you might think that whatever you're going through right now, there is no goodness in it. And you know what? That's absolutely true. But months later, years later, you'll look back and you'll see that actually, whether it be the person who was next to you, whether it be the outcome of the situation, whether it be the end of suffering and that person with the Lord above, okay, in ever divine glory, and that all of that has been put to rest, put to peace. Or maybe you're in a different situation in your life. Maybe you're not of faith at all. Remember, my friend, there is only one of you in this world, and that alone makes you simply amazing. And whatever you believe in, whatever you dream, whatever you aspire, there is nothing in this world to tell you that you can't. There will always be situations which will make it difficult. But if you want to do something, if you want to dream it, and dream as big as you possibly can, because you know what, there are people and individuals in this world who are in the most challenging circumstances, but yet go on to achieve the most incredible things. And do you know what? Success is not defined by a bank balance or what you have in your pocket. It is the people you have around you, it is the love that you feel, and it is the person which you give and which you radiate when you go through life. When someone's going through a difficult situation, people often close down. People often show you the worst aspects of themselves through frustration, through anger, through pain, through fear. And it's not them. So I think, do you know what? Sometimes we've got to give people grace. We've got to give people time. And when people say, and they burn their bridges straight off and they think, do you know what? How that person spoke to me, how that person treated me, I'm never ever going to go back on it. Forgiveness is a huge, huge gift. And I know sometimes that when people say they forgive and they forgive and they forgive, do you know what? It's tough, but we can learn a lot about ourselves, and I think that we must certainly look after ourselves, and we must love ourselves first of all before we can love anybody else, okay, before we can open our hearts and make sure that we are strong and we're supportive and we get people through as well. But forgiveness is a huge, amazing gift, and by giving grace to people, that sometimes, do you know, just sometimes, by keeping strong to what you believe in helps others, it helps give that direction, it helps give that clarity, it really, really helps your stability in life. And then you really help others, and you really kind of radiate that strength, that resilience, that kind of determination, that power in life. So never ever, my friend, give up on what you believe in. And whether that you're a young person watching this, and whether that be that your hope and aspiration is to be a pilot, or to be a real top flying job, or to have this, or to be somewhere in the world, never ever let nothing stop you in your path. There will always be circumstances which make it difficult, but when you climb up that mountain, keep going, my friend. Because you know what? Even a setback in life, even a negative thing happening, it is a step in this life. And it may not always be a positive one, it is a step. Okay, might not be progress, but it is a step on your journey. So never stop, never become complacent, keep going, push forward, and never give up on what you believe in. And if you're of faith, and if you're not of faith, remember that He's always with us, okay? And I absolutely love this, and I say this to my brother all the time. He may not always give you what you want, but He will always give you what you need. On that note, God bless, take great care, and if you're not of faith, remember, my friend, you're an amazing individual. There's only one of you in this world, so value all of your amazingness, value that skill, value that experience, value that all the greatness you have to give in this life. On that note, God bless, take great care. Thank you for joining me. Never ever give up, my friend, on what you believe in, because you're truly special, and you're an individual who is so incredible in this world. God bless, take great care, and until next time, I look forward to you joining me then. Bye now.